While staying at Renaissance Cleveland Hotel, guests of the Morning Exchange and Live on 5 can dine at Sans Souci, featuring Mediterranean cuisine with specialties from Provence.
New, new, new. That's the theme of today's edition of DePietro's Cleveland. A new library on the Case Western Reserve campus, a new rapid station, and a new City Hall parking garage.
Cleveland's own Madison International Architects can take credit for this smart-looking 1,200-car parking garage that appears as though it's holding up City Hall. The new and improved Willard Park garage behind Cleveland City Hall is just about all closed in. Now, you may remember the old Willard Park garage that self-destructed because someone forgot to put drains in its floors. The $23 million garage does have drains. It also has sloping floors, which will be hidden on the outside because of the horizontal design. It'll open this summer. On the Case Western Reserve campus, something new is going up, but it looks as though it's always been there because of its Indiana limestone exterior. It's the $27 million Smith Library, which will have an exquisite winding stairway that is illuminated by scads of natural light from above.
You'll always be able to tell where you are because you can relate between where you are and the exterior of the building. There's almost no place in this building that you can stand that you can't see the outside.
Something else that you won't be able to see is the fiber optic and cable system because it will be hidden underneath the floor. On the east bank of the flats, work is feverishly proceeding on a new RTA rapid line. This is all part of a glass and steel canopy puzzle that's being put together on the new RTA waterfront line here at Settlers Landing. This will hopefully be done in time for the bicentennial celebration this summer. The station at Settlers Landing is supposed to look like this, in the shadow of the refurbished Veterans Memorial Bridge. Alan DePietro, News Channel 5.
And the new waterfront line will have a total of 4 stations and will cost $67 million. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday evening.
News Channel 5 at 6 is next.
Good night.
Good night.
Donations collected for the family of a man murdered at a pizza shop turn up missing. And now the shop's new owner comes to the rescue.
Lots of shouting, a chase, and a blockade. Angry parents go on a rampage against the owner of a local motel.
And it's 4th and inches for the Browns tonight. We'll go live to Chicago.
News Channel 5 at 6 is straight ahead.
Now, from the most watched news team in Ohio, this is News Channel 5 at 6.
And the Shaner girls haven't seen one red penny of that.
The widow of a man killed during a holdup says she and her daughters never received donations collected to help them out. It creates another mystery in the case of a man shot at a pizza shop. The murder of Pat Shaner remains unsolved. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lorna Barrett.
And I'm Ted Henry. Now there are questions, brand new questions about donations made in his memory. News Channel 5's Ed Gallick joins us live near 105th and Lorraine on Cleveland's west side. Ed, something definitely sounds fishy here, but I can't quite figure out what it is. Help us out.
All right. This business, by the way, recently changed hands. This is where the crime occurred. This is what used to be Pizza Odyssey. You'll recall that 2 robbers shot and killed Pat Shaner while he was working here and while he tried to protect someone else inside. You'll also recall that the former owners then took donations from customers to help out the family. $1 here, $5 there. Well, it turns out the family never got that money. She's a single mother now, raising a 6-month-old and a 6-year-old alone.
Pat has always been there for us. He has done more things for us than a lot of men would do for their family. He's not here to fight for us anymore.
Donna Shaner says she now struggles to get by with a Social Security check and help from relatives.
I haven't been able to pay any bills as far as like the medical bills for the baby and stuff. I haven't paid any of that.
She thought the small donations collected at the pizza shop would help, even if only a little. But she says she's never received that money, nor a good explanation why. The donations were collected here at the front counter. Now, the daughter of the former owner says the money was then held in this storage room, but she doesn't know what happened to it. The only thing that's clear is that Donna Shaner and her family never got any of it. The new owner told us he couldn't solve the money mystery, but he could try to help. So on the spot, he decided to write a $100 check for Donna Shaner, a total stranger.
If she was to walk in the door, I wouldn't know who she is. So.
You just felt like it was the right thing to do?
Yeah, I felt in my heart that was the right thing to do.
Later, we found Donna Shaner picking up her daughter, and we shocked her with the new donation. And before we left, he wrote out a check to you for $100.
Oh, my God.
Speechless and in tears, but very grateful. And Donna Shaner also wants to thank all of you who contributed to a bank fund for the family. Donations there totaled almost $8,000, and Donna says that that money is being invested for the kids. Back to you.
It turns out to be quite a touching story there, but as important as that issue was for that woman and the people involved, what's the latest on the search for the killers on the other issue?
Unfortunately, not a lot is new in the investigation. We can, however, show you again the sketches of the suspects. Police recently did have some fresh leads in the case, but still nothing solid. They say that they still don't know who these guys are or where they are right now.
And as far as the new pizza owner goes, a tip of the hat to him, because what a generous act on his part to a complete stranger.
Totally spontaneous, too.
Well, that's a nice example for all of us. Thanks, Ed.
Well, have you received any mail lately with an unbelievable offer to make lots of money? Well, it could be a scam originating in Nigeria. News Channel 5's Kathy Davis joins us now from our 24-hour newsroom with a warning. And Kathy, as usual, this offer is probably too good to be true, right?
You're right, Lorna. It is too good to be true. The West and East Coast have been hit hard by the scam, and local authorities are warning people in this area to beware. In fact, we received this fax from Congressman James Trafficant's office today, warning about the scam. And Cleveland police say, whatever you do, don't bite.
This group in Nigeria, headed by doctors, are claiming that they have amassed $36 million and that they are in need to shelter this money and would like to shelter the money in this country. So they are looking to people to ask them to share their bank account, and in turn they would receive checks drawn on Nigerian banks, and these checks would be deposited into accounts. And for doing that, the people in the U.S. accounts would benefit in the interest or fees. Unfortunately, these checks are worthless.
Again, apparently the letter, which looks like it's on official Nigerian stationery, says, let us deposit millions into your account to shelter the money and you'll make the interest. An offer, of course, Lorna, that is way too good to be true.
So who's being targeted with this scam?
Businesses, people in the financial district, even professors. Officers warn there are mass mailings going on, so beware.
Okay. Thanks, Kathy. Ted?
Want to help some cops? Here's a new way for you to do that. You may be able now to help police solve some crimes by doing a little surfing. On the internet, that is. Jackson Township Police down near Canton created a site on the World Wide Web. The first of its kind here in the Buckeye State. Police are providing all sorts of information through a computer. Things like warning businesses who's writing bad checks and who's not, and telling people about fugitives. In return, police hope citizens email them with crime tips.
We get tips on crimes. Obviously, it's going to help out on prosecutions if we gather some evidence based on those tips.
What a neat idea. The Jackson Township Police website will also provide information about weather and traffic reports.
A Medina County woman missing since Saturday is back home tonight. 33-year-old Tammy Luce disappeared while going shopping at a Medina shopping center, and her family feared the worst. But late last night, she called from a shelter in Buffalo, New York, to check on her children. Her parents, Bill and Judy Maulding, told reporters they talked her into coming home.
We reassured her that no matter what any other problems there were, that we loved her and wanted her to come home, and everything else can be worked out. The most important thing was getting her home safely.
Maulding would only say Tammy left over personal problems that she now wants to work out.
A mysterious lung disease still threatens infants on Cleveland's east side this week, but local health officials are now working on a plan to stop it in its tracks. Investigators believe a fungus which grows on damp walls in the home may have caused 17 babies to contract pulmonary hemosiderosis. They hope to find out which homes are at risk by asking new mothers to fill out a questionnaire before they ever leave the maternity ward.
Oh, that's a very simple questionnaire as to whether there's any mold or fungus growing in the house anywhere, whether there's been any water damage in the house in the past 6-12 months, water damage in the form of leaky roof, leaky pipes, sewer backup.
This program, by the way, is still very much in the pilot stages and won't be up to full speed for another few weeks.
Well, 20 years of forced busing in Cleveland could soon be coming to an end. A federal judge will decide if the Cleveland School District is racially balanced enough to end desegregated busing. Officials for the district testified today no more remnants of segregation exist in the Cleveland schools. A decision may be reached as early as Friday.
Ohio's drunk driving law is before the state Supreme Court this week. A lawsuit claims it's unconstitutional. The 1993 law gives police the authority, basically, to suspend the licenses of drunk drivers right there on the spot. But defense lawyers say the law imposes 2 penalties for 1 offense, or, in other words, double jeopardy. State attorneys say it's not double jeopardy because they say the law is set up to better protect the public. The state high court could render a decision in the next few months or so. We'll let you know.
Well, it is the meeting football fans all across Northeast Ohio have been waiting for.
Is it ever? NFL owners, the big guys, the big shots, are meeting in Chicago right now to talk about the Browns moving to Baltimore. And that's where our sports director, Bob Stevens, is at this very hour tonight. Bob, what can we expect from the meeting so far?
Ted, nothing right now. What you might see from the meeting down the road is a decision on the Cleveland-Baltimore thing, but then again, you might not see it either. The owners have an awful lot of things to deal with. They've got to deal with the situation in Los Angeles, with Seattle as well. The meetings don't start actually until tomorrow, but there have been meetings going on all day today between Cleveland and the NFL on trying to come up with some kind of a deal that the membership can then vote on when they begin their meetings tomorrow. Owners have been drifting in throughout the day. Among the items still to be negotiated, and maybe still the biggest sticking point, is what the NFL might be willing to contribute to Cleveland to help build a new stadium in order to get a team. Both sides, though, seem to be holding out for that perfect deal, and they're, of course, running headlong into that Monday court date with Judge Callahan that could keep the Browns in Cleveland. Here's what's at stake if the 2 sides end up going to court on Monday. If the city were to win, of course, Art Modell would have to stay in Cleveland with the Browns during the appeal. Not him physically, obviously, but the Browns would be stuck in Cleveland, and the NFL would probably go back to the bargaining table and try to cut whatever deal they could. If Modell wins, though, well, Cleveland may have to go shopping for a new NFL team or lose football altogether if they can't win in court. So the court date is kind of the blink if you lose kind of thing. Neither side wants to see that court date come. Neither one wants to roll the dice that much. But the meetings, that's what the meetings here at the O'Hare Hilton in Chicago are all about, and what the meetings tomorrow will continue.
Well, what about Art Modell himself? Did you happen to spot him walking into that big old hotel behind you? And if so, what did he have to say to you?
No, we don't expect Art to be anywhere near the Hilton until he absolutely has to tomorrow. We not even expect him to stay here. That's what he did in Atlanta, stayed in another hotel and came in.
He's laying low. I wonder why. Thanks,
yes,
Bob.
He is.
See you next report later on.
All right. Still to come on News Channel 5, some Cleveland school students say they have a dangerous walk to school.
And a huge, and I do mean huge, smokestack topples right into the Ohio River. We'll tell you why.
A meeting between a motel owner and some parents along East 55th turns ugly. I'm Orlando Salinas. That story is coming up.
Local high school players decide where they want to play college football, and we'll get a feel on the NFL owners' meetings. Will Art Modell get to move? We'll tell you in sports.
I'm Don Webster. It felt like a heat wave today, and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. The weather's coming up.
It was supposed to be a peaceful meeting between parents and a motel owner, but it turned into a shouting match. Parents say prostitutes hang out in front of the motel, and the owner is doing nothing to stop it. News Channel 5's Orlando Salinas joins